And welcome everybody to a new video. For this time I want to continue a little bit more on the lessons for how to get a MKP character into your main MUGEN to work. I did a video on this before, but I didn't touch up on all the details that I could have for anybody still struggling to understand some basic things. So right now I'm kind of helping a YouTuber, ImJoe with Joe, or ImJoeImJoe I believe his name is. And he's working on a 3D MK versus Street Fighter game on MUGEN, and I'm pretty sure he's not the only one doing so. So I want to go ahead and make this video to help future MUGENers who are trying to get that same kind of project going on. So in this video, I want to cover just the basic things to get through, everything from how to get rid of the clones to adding blood, uppercuts so characters fall down, what values to add. This Kung Lao was fresh. I just kind of downloaded them here. And I'm going to show you guys how to get some of the basic things started. This will be part 2, because part 1 technically is the video I already did before. There may be a part 3 if I need to further develop into showing you guys how to get fatalities to work, which is kind of freaking difficult. So that's why I created my own super move style fatalities, similar to like a Guilty Gear or Blaze Blue, where they're like astral heats, where like you set the move up and then find a way to insta kill the opponent with it. So that's what I did for mine. But for those of you who want the whole finish him and stuff, I don't know how to do that necessarily, but I'll walk you through how I believe you can do it. And I may make a part 3 once I figure that out myself. So what we're going to do to start things off is how do you get these characters to work originally? So let's look in here. I'll zoom in a bit. As you can see, state 3, 4, and 5 are data MKP. You have to erase these for any new MKP character you add to your MUGEN, because these will cause your game to crash. These states here supposedly only work for MKP. If you look over here at the Kung Lao I just downloaded, you don't see 3, 4, and 5 here. I had to erase them to get him to work. What these do is once you erase these, you have to add things in their place because you got rid of them. So you see how it says B moves, which I understand is basic moves. I'm assuming pit is stage fatalities or something like that, and then you have the fatalities. Once you get rid of these, you have to, like I said, make things to go in their place. Now all the states, animations and stuff will be in there, but once you get rid of these, you kind of have to like do it from scratch, because you lose whatever these states are represented for MKP. So we're not working on Jade, so let's just go ahead and get rid of that, but that's a main staple. So let's go ahead and re-zoom back out. All right. Okay, so what you want to, let's back up a little bit more. All right, so what you want to do is, we've gotten rid of the basic MKP stuff. So what does that give us? We can move around and we can press nothing because none of our attacks work. So, well, uppercut works, but nothing else. So how do we go ahead and get these normals to work? I covered this before in the original video, but another reason I want to do this separately this way is, you know, you don't have to go look at all those other videos if you don't want to. You don't necessarily need to. So for those of you who want to work on the MKP project character specifically, this video here should help you. You don't have to go back and rewatch that video and other videos on how to get blood sprites and stuff to work. If that's not what you're looking for, it's easier to find it all in one video here. Doing it on my phone because this is a new phone and it's pretty cool, and I was trying it with Streamlabs and it's just too many different window hoppings. It was getting kind of a pain in the ass, so I'm gonna do it this way. I'm doing it the best I can with the lighting. Hope you guys can see it the best. You can hear my voice and everything is perfectly so. All right, so we're gonna start off with, look at here, and what do you see? Well, you're missing anything that's a basic move attack. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So let's go and look at like, I can't even, it doesn't really matter, but yeah. So you can see what it is that your character's missing. You see all these are formats, lose, win states. These are things that you notice that are not in here. This character has none of this. I also want to say this is the fact, because I learned this forever ago. You want to start off by going to state number 2 and go get rid of the helper on the windscreen. The reason why is when the match is over, the character will pose for the victory, but another person will pop up. So a helper is the clones you guys are struggling with. So you want to go ahead and get rid of that. Also, go in here to assert specials and get rid of these. These will prevent any issues with your character not being able to block in any direction you want. I will also in this video show you how to add air guard for your characters that you need. Okay, the rest of this stuff down here we don't need. I'm gonna go ahead and save. Now you notice specials, finishers, combos, brutalities. All these we're gonna go through parts of to show you how to really deal with every situation to get you where you need. And we'll take it a step at a time. So you notice here, the only thing you really see here is, I think 24 to 26 is the throw states. And the 600, I believe, is something on the states, because 430 is your uppercut state. And you're probably wondering how you figure this out if you're looking in the actual game. So press Control D. This is a basic MUGEN thing. And you'll notice the screen right there has all this white lettering. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, now, see right there, I press jab, it shows state 200, nothing's coming out, which means he's missing state 200. Block is 140, which works, 210, 225, no attacks. You need to create these states for your character. On the uppercut, as you can see, state 430. So that state works. So I wanted to gotta just do that real quick so you guys can get the basics of what to look for with Control D. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that now. Okay. And now look over here right there. See, state 430. That shows that's the only one working. Now let's go over here to Candyman. And you see all the win-lose states and this and that. And then right here, state 200 is your light punch, medium punch, this and that. So these states need to get added to your character. Now, how do you add them? Well, if you have Fighter Factory, pretty much take any normal MUGEN character you already have. If you're making like a 3D game like ImJoeImJoe is doing, the Street Fighter characters should have a majority of these states already because they come with all their moves normally already working. So you can do that as well. I do have those characters as well, but I already have a character right here that already has the same things. So you don't have to do what I'm doing, but this is just a start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take Candyman's full set of moves here. I'm going to select all. And you want to go all the way. Well, I don't want to copy every single thing there. So actually, that won't be a good idea. So what we'll do is we'll copy from, let's see. Actually, any of these characters' main basic states are all going to be like that. Okay, so it won't matter. Let me go to like Devore here. So what I'm going to do for step one is I'm going to show you how to get the moves you need. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to show you something else because when I add the new stage, you'll be confused. Okay. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to uppercut. And you notice there's a clone there. And Vega didn't fall down, he just went up. So I'll do it again. And there's no blood. This is a state, this is an issue that I know Joe had. So I'm going to explain this one real quick as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to go find state 430, which is right here. What you're going to do, you see the blood gets, there's a helper for blood. Let me see if I can show you. Right there, you see? Helper, upper blood. Which means that when you uppercut, the blood is supposed to splatter up. But because you got rid of, some things with basic moves and all that, the blood gets replaced. Now, you cannot do anything with the helper, so you're going to want to get rid of it. So you want to look for any other state helper. There's another one here. Okay, 601 has nothing to do with what we're looking for, so we go back up here. And right here is where you want to go right here and hit def. Find hit def for your state. And this is where you want to add a fall value. We already have the uppercut that's added for Vega. And now what we want to do is we want to add fall value 1. 0 just means they get uppercutted or knocked back or whatever. 1 means they won't be able to tech unless you add a air recover time number, which will let them tech. And then you want to go up here just so you can learn a couple extra things with Mugen. Air and ground velocity, these are how you get the opponent's angle to go up. What I mean by that is how high they go up. So -12 is the Y value. The -2 in front is X. Put it this way, if you put 0 and 0 and then -12, -12, the opponent will go up at 12, which means they'll fly as high as you saw him go up, but 0 means they'll go straight up instead of straight back. So we can get back to that in a minute. Now I'm going to go ahead and relaunch here and you will see the difference now. Okay. Now, there you go, see? No helpers, no longer helpful. Back out. Sorry about that. Let me try it. Let me show you again. I left the camera zoomed in. There you go. Now, some moves that characters are going to have, like I'm going to get close. You see right here? You're probably wondering what's that the cause of. Is my throw. These are all when you get close. So, when you go into here at combos, type in, let's go down here, type in helper. And in your combo section, you want to get rid of all the helpers. What this will do is if you decide to keep the run-up combos, the characters will no longer have a helper appear. As I said, the helpers are there to replace the blood sprites. So basically, instead of blood, there's no blood there, so just another version of your character shows up instead. This is something that took a while to learn myself. And then once we get moves working, I'll go ahead and I'll show you how to work it with projectiles, things of that nature. All right, right there, no text found. So we're gonna go ahead and save it. And then we'll get to specials in a second. Okay, so what that should do now, also, when you get a new, let me see if I can show you. Whenever you download a new MKP fighter, their throw damage is stupid high. So, right there, okay. So your throws will normally state 24, 25, and 26. So I will show you how to nerf these. Go to state 24, hit def. You're not gonna see it here. I think it's in 25. Right there, target life add. So 320 means it's gonna do about 320 damage. So let's nerf it to about 120 and do the same over here. Okay. All right. So now we've gotten rid of the clones for running up attacks, and your throw damage should be a lot less. Yep, see? A lot less. Okay, and now clones. See? Now, when you get a MKP character at first, their damage is stupid high. So you want to go in there because if you, let me see if I can bring Jade back up. I'll show you what I mean. Well, it doesn't really matter. What you'll do is you'll go into you know what? Let me grab Jade because I haven't touched that character yet. So right there, see, life is 1660, which is a ton, and attack is 100, and this and that. So a lot of times, some of their damage can be super high. So you just kind of nerf it, and you'll be better off with that. Okay. Now, I want to get into more clones here in specials. So let's take a look at like hat toss for Kung Lao. Right there, see? And now you know the helper state. And now there's another question there. Okay, Vega got hit. Why didn't he react? I'm going to show you something else. See, he's locked in. He's not turning around. This is another video I covered once, which is about player states. So let's use our Control D. Hat toss. Let me see again. Hat toss is state 1000. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to go into specials, 1000. You can see right there, hat toss. What you want to do is, well, you don't want to get rid of this helper. When it comes to projectiles, don't get rid of the main helper because this is the projectile itself. So get rid of any other helper after it. Only when it comes to projectiles, just so I don't confuse you. Because that basically means when you throw, he's going to throw nothing because he got rid of the helper itself. Okay, let me see. Okay, there's another helper here. Hat toss. Hat itself. Sometimes these things have multiple states. Let's just stick with the one up here. The other one's probably like hat in the air or something. So, okay, so that should get rid of the clones. And speaking of clones, I will show you in a minute how to add blood. Okay. And right here you see player 2 state number 21238. That's a state that works in MKP. It doesn't work in this. So you want to go ahead and get rid of it. And now I'll show you the difference. Also, there's that too. Let me show you something. If you use Control D, you can see right down there. Right there, you can see state number 2138, which is the opponent. Yellow means they're locked in a custom state. So, okay. Okay, now let's look at it now. There you go, see? He actually makes a hit, damage goes away, and you can jump over him. Now, if you're wondering, okay, well, how do I knock him down? Once again, we're going to look here, and we're going to add fall value at 1. And if you want to be a little different, you can go up here to pause time. Pause time basically means the effect of the hit. So let's say your pause time is 10, means your opponent will move at 10 frames slow. And let's say you put this on 70, that means they'll be stuck in like 70 frames on hit. I'll show you a little bit of what that means, and it can kind of make all the oomph for a move. So I'm going to put like 7 for hat, and I'll put 25 for pause time for the opponent when they're hit. And with fall value 1, he will be hit and he will fall down. There you go, see? 25 just means that he's locked in frame for that amount of time. You don't have to do what I did, I'm just showing you an example. And of course, see right here, ground velocity. If you want the opponent to like launch up or something, you just add these values here. So just for giggles, let's go to ground velocity and we'll put 0, -9. Air velocity just means how high they float, same thing. Usually want to keep those kind of the same. And we'll go ahead and nerf this to 15. Just so I can give you guys a little extra oomph on your moves and how you understand how to use them. So what this will do now is it'll launch him. See? Now the move's going to launch the opponent. All right. So that should cover the basics of how you guys get rid of clones for your moves. And like I said, for when it comes to projectiles, like if you're going to have Liu Kang throw a fireball or Kung Lao throw a hat, once you find the state for the move, do not get rid of the original helper. See right here, hat toss. Once again, do not get rid of this helper. If you get rid of this, he's going to toss nothing. There will be no hats. This is the helper state. So you want to leave that the way it is. What you want to do is once you go to hat itself and you get around hit def, all the other helpers that show up will be what replaced blood. Okay. Now I'm going to show you how to, because we don't have to go through every single special and finisher and all this and that. So I want to go ahead and keep it moving. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to show you guys how you add blood. So what you do is Kung Lao, you want to look through his animations. So when we get here, let's go through 430 down here, right? So hit def, spark number right here. This is where you will add the animation for where your blood is going to be, or whatever spark you choose. So if you want to be bloody, go ahead and do that. If you don't, there's other options around it. So let's see what animations he has. He doesn't have blood because none of the MKP characters come with it. So I'll show you what I mean. So right here, 11013, right? This is just some random spin animation. So what we want to do is go into 430 here, go to spark number and add it there, and put an S in front of it because that usually like symbolizes that it works. So make that a thing. Spark XY is where the blood or wherever your thing is going to show up. So I'm going to put -30, always at 30. If you don't put the negative sign, I think it'll like appear at a further distance. So I usually just kind of go with negative. That's just me. Right here at hit sound is where you will add a noise, which you will find in here. So what's the hit sound for this? 5 and 0. So let's see what 5 and 0 sounds like. I don't see one, so it must be a basic MUGEN noise. Okay, so let's look at. All right, so 30 and 0 is like your spin style. But anyway, that's just a way to let you know how you add a sound. Player 2 facing at 1, and then you have -1. What that basically means is if you have it at 1, they're facing in front of you. If you have -1, they're turned around. So like if you have like a stab move and you want the opponent to be turned around when they're stabbed, just put -1. When it comes to command grabs, sometimes depending, -1 will like move the opponent in an entirely different direction. Like let's say you have a move that tosses someone at the wall. If you put -1, they'll get tossed to the wall behind you. That's just something if you're like, if you want to add something for like, if you add Goro, right? And he's got like a punch move and then flings the opponent. If you put -1, it'll fling the opponent to the other wall, something like that. So what we did was we added the spark number, we added 1830. This is how you add blood. Okay, now let's go ahead and uppercut. And there you go, see? That spark number is there because we don't have blood sprites. So that's what we use. And you're probably asking yourself, okay, but I want to add blood to my character. How do I do it? Well, like I said, the MKP characters don't come with it. So what you're going to have to do is probably down like a Mortal Kombat 2 character or somebody that has a blood sprite. So I'm going to go to Devora here. And you see I have blood effect 4, 14103. So what I'm going to do, go to Kung Lao. Animations we want to copy from Devora. 14103. You want to import sprites, added, and now you have the blood sprites here. So save. Hopefully this doesn't take a while because sometimes this does, but then you're going to want to save here. I said take a while because some MKP characters, after you save sprites, they take like sometimes almost 5 minutes to move again. So, or he's fine, okay. Like Kenshi, Quan Chi, some of those characters take a minute. So now we have 14103. So let's change this to 14103. And just so I prove the point, we're going to go to the hat toss and do the same thing. Go to hit def in your hat toss. Look for spark right there at -1. S 14103. Now we do not have a spark X and Y, so we need to add one. I added -20, -30. Okay, now, because if you do not save your sprites, they will not show up. So now for uppercut and for hat toss, you should now have blood. And there you go. Okay. Now, moving on, let's get into another step. So that is, I pretty much covered how you get rid of clones, how you add blood, how you add sounds, and a couple of the tidbits just to be fun. Now what we're doing here is we need to look at what other states. So Kung Lao, like I said, has all these states. He's missing every other state. So we need to add a win state and all these things here. You see, if you go into, you notice when you restart for Kung Lao, like if you press refresh, he just stands there. So if you want him to do his intro, you need the win states and all this stuff here. So what we want to do, one thing I like to do is, let me see if I can find initialize. So you want to add, definitely add this first. So go down here, it doesn't really matter where, just anywhere you can add it for -2 states. I'll just go under the negative fall here and I'll add initialize. The reason why, if you can read right there, it says clear all floats, initials initialize at the start of the round. So right here, intro for round 1. State value is 181. That's for Devora. So let's look in the Kung Lao. What's his intro number? And you can always edit these if you don't want it to be what you see. I'll show you what I mean. Does he have a 181? No, he has a 180. So, okay, he doesn't have 181. So 180 here is his, basically his intro, or sometimes they kind of have like a win state. So what we'll do is, let's say we'll add our own intro, just so you guys can see it. All right, we need to copy. Let's just copy like parts of this real quick. And then we'll add 181. Now you can use 180 if you wish, but you know, with him just leaning with his hat down, you don't want that intro. So I'm just going to show you a custom intro. I copied that because you kind of need the same, just something to start with. Okay. So he's going to kind of just lean with his hat like that. Okay. This is just a test. This is not something I'm probably going to wind up keeping. Now, your opponent, he's not going to say anything until you add the extra states. So, like if you want like learn from this, something like that. Let's go here into Devora and look for a win state decider. So I'm going to copy all these all the way down to, well, I don't need the Arita win pose. We don't need that one. But all the way down to Taunt. Usually, I'm probably going to wind up taking all these, but actually, no, just let's just get that out the way. Okay, so what we'll do, let's see. Let me find where we don't need parry states. All right, we already have 430, so let's grab 420. And let's try to go all the way up and just copy all that. These are because Devora has all the states that we need for jumping kick, punch, this and that. Now, what this will do sometimes that is kind of annoying is you'll get their numbers and stuff. So let's say Kung Lao's like 5-0 is like a hiep noise. And Devora's jab is like a 9-2. If you don't have a 9-2, you're basically going to get no sound or whatever Kung Lao's random 9-2 is if he already has it. So you're going to want to fix those by going into your own sound files. We'll have to get rid of some things, but this is just the basic way to do it. Because when I first did this, I think it was with Aaron Black, I think, when I started to learn how to do all this. Okay, so we're going to copy this over to Lao. So he has all this here. Let's go to, oh, up here, okay. He doesn't have any quotes. All right, so right here, 430 is where all this starts. So let's add everything on top of this. Now we have all of these. Let me get rid of this one because I don't need this one. Okay. This will give me air guard in all these states. You don't need all these states exactly, but like, let me get rid of air dash. Okay, jump land. All right, so he now should have 181, and he should have 60. So now what I should do is the Kung Lao wins or something like that with the state we added. Hope you guys following along. I know it's a lot, but it's the best way, because once you erase those things when they crash the game, you have to kind of, you know, finagle your way to add all the states back slowly but surely. Okay, now, as you saw there, now he has all his normals. Okay. He didn't do the intro that we wanted. He did the hat pull down, so let's look at intro pose. Or taunt. Let me see what we got, because we added what, 181, right? Well, that's what we added, but anyway, as you can see, where is it? So he doesn't even have a 190. Yeah, it's 180, which is what we saw. So 181. Right here, wind pose bow. Okay, that's why. We want to add animation 181, and then should have the Kung Lao wind noise. So let's see, 60 should be normally their wind noises.
Kung Lao wins.
All right, let's try this again. If you want to fix how to do that, what you got to do, he leans the hat. You want to go here to time and do -1. If you don't, they're going to repeat whatever they're doing. Let's go in here since the volume is quite low and see if we can adjust it. Okay. And then I'm going to show you guys another trick with how to get your normals working the way you want. There you go. See, now he has the state we gave him, and now he has an intro. You can pretty much customize that with whatever you want. So, let's see. Okay, so now that that's done, we have our 4 buttons that work. We have our jab, light kicks, and the buttons in the middle don't work. We don't have our run. So, for those of you who want to add these extra states, let's go ahead and keep moving. All right, so let's look into Devora. First of all, if you want to get, I added extra attacks for Kung Lao. You don't have to add these if you don't want to. If you want to keep the original formula for Mortal Kombat, which is 4 buttons and maybe a block button, that is entirely up to you. See right here, see how the difference in the inputs? So that's entirely up to you. Also, Devora, if I go down here, let me go to the states here. You see I have stand block and run forward. What this is if you don't want, see right there, command hold back. So if you want your characters to block like Street Fighter characters, you want to add this value, you want to add this state. If you don't, you'll be keeping them at, let me show you with Kung Lao. And see right here, run forward, state 100. These are all states that he has added, but I didn't add them from right there, see? Let me see. See right there, stand block, command is block. And there should be a run forward somewhere on here. Right there. Correr, run, MK. Run, hold forward, hold up, this and that. So this is just a run button that is added. This is all up to you if you want to add it. If you want the custom states to have air block and this and that, because I'm going to show you. Let me go to Kung Lao right here. See, run forward is a state I have, and where's 120? 120, this is how you do air guarding, run blocking, this and that. So you're going to have to go into, I have Devour as a state. I got this from other characters. You just have to look around for characters who have guarding, and you just add it that way. All right, so I'm going to add these here just to show you. So I'm going to go to Kung Lao down here. All right, so I'm going to get rid of stand block. And I'm going to post this and run forward. I'm going to get rid of career run. All right, now what that should do, that should give him his run, and he should now have a hold back to block value. There you go. Now he can run. And this button here in the middle, which I have a circle, this was the block button. Now he can hold back to block. He doesn't have to have a hold block button. If you prefer, I mean, if I was you, I would prefer that. That way, if you're fighting really tough AI, you're not sweating your finger out, just holding that shit down for a while. So just hold back, it's easier on your finger. Because I remember when I played MKX, when I was fighting those super cheap characters like Kung Lao, Kano with the super plus frames, my finger got so tired of blocking all those like plus 20, 30 moves and shit. So there we go. So that covers blood, getting rid of clones, how to add sounds, intros, run, hold back to block. Like I said, what I just showed you was just an optional way. If you don't want it, you don't have to add those states. That's entirely up to you and your preference for adding, for what you want to add to your Mortal Kombat characters. See, everything I added here are all the states. These quotes here are, I have to add his own quotes. I don't have any right now, but these are how you add a quote for your character to win. I'm going to get rid of this for now because I don't have any I'm going to add to them just yet. So, as you can see right there, win state decider, taunt, run forward, hop backwards, guard, all this and that. Well, parry standing I don't need. I'm going to go and get rid of that. This is if you want to add parry states, and whenever I added this to upload for the people for people from my YouTube stuff, for the MKP characters I uploaded, they usually would crash for them, so I don't add those states anymore. And now let's look at jump kicks. See? Now you have your jump kicks. Of course, you hear how there's no sound. So once this, like I already told you, all you got to do is find the state for that jump kick, go to hit sound, and add it there. Also, you're not gonna see it. I wanna go over that real quick. You're not gonna see where's hit sound. Let's see right there, S, 20, and 6, right? So Kung Lao's uppercut. What was it, 5-0? You notice there's not an S there. You want to add an S there for any sounds that are in your folder, which is why you did not see 5-0 in here. It's kind of like a, I guess, a MUGEN custom state noise. So let's see if we can change the uppercut noise. Let's see what we got. That sounds good. 31 and 1. So let's go to our uppercut here, and we'll go to hit sound, S, 31 and 1. And now we should have a cool uppercut sound. Feels kind of delayed, but I'm probably laptop. But yeah. But yeah, so let me see if there's anything else I'm leaving out. All right, so I told you guys how to add pretty much all the basic things you would struggle from. Once again, going back here into, also, Kung Lao, I added all the states from Devora. So if you want the 6-button character, you want to go in here and you want to add these because it will give you all buttons. And then you want to do, see, he only has, sorry. See, he's only got the 4 buttons here. And then you want to go down here. Not here. Let me go a little up. Right here. See where it says jumping kick, jump punch, 420, 410. So, see how this is 430, this and that. These are all states that, let me see. I don't think he has 430, 410. Yeah, see 400. So let me see if I gave, see right there, 400, 405. These are extra ground states to give you 6 buttons. So what I'm saying is Kung Lao has the states here. He does not have them in here. I'd have to add them from Devora in order for you to get 6 buttons. If you're not interested in doing that, you don't have to. But for my sake, since I prefer 6-button fighters for my MK characters, I'm going to do that myself. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab the same stuff Devora has. Let me go to her because he doesn't have the states. Okay, let's see, sweep. Okay, let's go right in here. See, duck, light punch. You usually want to do this all the way down to where you see AI right there. That just shows, oh, god damn it, I fucked up. All right, go back up here a minute. Let's try this again. Okay. And now I'm going to cover these over what he has so that I will now have a 6-button fighter. So let's take a look. Oh, sorry. Forgot I didn't add the extra buttons. So he needs to get all the extra buttons so he can have all the inputs. Now Devora has an extra button that I created as a custom attack. So he's going to have like some jump random move or it's not going to work until I give him one myself. So I think for her that was probably 6 something. So that button's not going to work for him, but that's not the point right now. Let's just show you. Yeah. Holy shit, look. See, I'm throwing myself. Because she has the custom where she throws like a bee or something. He's throwing another version because he doesn't have a move yet. But if anything, I can turn that into a hat. Let's see, now he has 6 buttons. And now he has the basic set of combos. So I think I pretty much covered all the basic ways to get yourself started. Everything else from there is pretty much up to you, which is where you're going to want to go in here, add your animations, add other blood sprites, this and that. And okay, and now I'm not going to go into fatalities until I get to part 3. But if you're wondering where they are, if you go in here, the fatality and friendship stuffs are here, but they don't work now because you got rid of the MKP fatality states. So you would have to do like what I did, and that's create. Yeah, what the hell is this? That's weird. Okay, that's like he already has a state or something. That's weird. I've never seen it before. Okay, so what was I looking for? Oh, okay. Where's fatalities at? Here's finishers. Nothing's here. All right, so that means the state is gone. So you have to add one. So let's say you wanted to add, let's find the fatalities first. And then I'll show you why a part 3 would need to get made because of how difficult fatalities are to add. Let's say you wanted to add your animality, right? 3800. This is your animality. So he turns into I guess a cheetah or a bobcat or something. So, yeah, cheetah, I guess. What is the little dog he has? Let us keep. Oh, I think that's the friendship. The hat, the dog chases the hat. That's right. And there's babality and all that stuff. So basically, what you want to do is you want to add. This is your number 3800, right? I'll show you a perfect example. Let me find Devora's 3800. Okay, never mind. Hers is a little too on the complicated side, but let me see. Yeah, hang on, let me find it. Anyway, what you want to do is your animations are here. So, and let's go into Kung Lao's finishers, 3800 animality. See, he has the state and he has the animations. What he does not have is the input states. So what you're going to have to do, matter of fact, I guess I'll just show you guys while I'm here, and we'll get to fatalities in another video once, let's see. I'm just going to show you the way I would do it. Where's her fatality? Weaponized hive. All right, silk fatality. So right here, 3800. Now, obviously, I'm not going to name my move Fatality. That was completely for Devora. But the whole point is you need state 3800. You don't need all this because it doesn't matter. We now added, let's get back that up. All right, so now we have state 3800. And now what we need to do is go up here and grab the move, which will be down, down, and C. There's a lot of moves up there. Okay, let's just go in here and add the move here. So the move's called Silktality from Devora. State 3800. All right, now, gotta make sure we save everything. Now, when we refresh it, we should be able to do down, down, C, and he's gonna do the animality. Okay. This is a starter of how to do the fatalities the way I do it, and then I'm gonna probably explain how you do it the other way. Okay, so let's press down, down, C. There you go. And you notice all the clones popping up, and you know what that means. That means that the blood has been replaced with other Kung Lao. So you just find state 3800, and you get rid of all the helpers. Well, the best way to identify it, to be easier for you guys, go to 3800 here. Right there, see helper move hit. That basically means once he pounces, this is the first Kung Lao, this is the second one, and you know this. You gotta erase pretty much all these. So, all right. Anyway, that's gonna be that, and I think I'm gonna end it there. I think I pretty much covered the basics to get your character started. So you want to have them fight Street Fighter characters. It's the same thing with Street Fighter characters. I mean, they don't come with helpers that I'm aware of, but in case they did, this is a tool to help as well. I apologize if it was a long video, but I like to keep things as informative as possible, no matter how long it takes. I mean, some people have made videos like an hour or two long explaining, like if you watch Old Gamer, he's really good at doing a lot of informative stuff to really explain the best he can, but sometimes the video's like an hour and a half. So because sometimes, you know, breaking things up is kind of whatever if you have to watch one video and then move into another one. But to explain fatalities, I don't know how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to break that into a third part, but I will explain to you how I believe you would set them up. All right, so we'll get rid of Devora. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, let me find MK2 Johnny Cage. Okay. So Let's look here at MK2 Johnny Cage, right? You go to fatalities and you see the fatality number and this helper. This is basically fatality mode, means it turns dark. If you add this helper to an MKP character, you're going to see another version of yourself appear on top. So, you know, there's that, but it basically will freeze the screen for the character, you know, so they can walk up and do what they want to do. Music, old and new. A lot of these characters come with it. It's basically the Omega Cycle makes the MK2 characters, a lot of them, MK3. Music, old and new, basically means he has like a version of the older theme and then the arranged theme. So that's what this is. So basically what I'm saying is the way I would think how you have to add them is, let's say you want to add all this stuff from Johnny Cage, fatality, surprise. See right here, it says arm, arm back, arm front, arm stop, bottle, bottle hit. These are basically once you like, if a person blows up and all the meat and blood and bone. See right here, spark, red volt. So right there, gore, open, projectile shadow. So I'm assuming you add this helper. So let's look at Johnny Cage's 809. So right there, see how that's, it's a bloody thing. And then he has 808 for the, you know, this. So right there, how he does 605, picks up, throws guts, and then you see 607 for blood and arms, gore open. You get it. So it's what is this fatality state 2, right? So where's fatality 2? Right here, so it's right there for Johnny Cage black, walks up, uppercut, 603. Oh, sorry, we're looking at 1. Fatality 1 is when he takes your guts out. So it says player state 2 gore, which is 608, and then guts 615, 617, 618. See, these are all states. And then when you need the states, you're going to have to add the helpers and all this stuff. It's kind of confusing because the MKP characters no longer have it. You got rid of it. So this is why I would have to make another video for this, because I myself don't know how to do this. So here you have to add the helper for fatality time. Fatality time backup, that's for the timer. Sometimes if you have the backup, your timer can go a little longer. So you have to add that into your moves. Player 2 states, you see right here, player 2 fatality helper, prepare to die. This is basically, I think this one here, prepare to die, this is the one where you add this state. This is when they're spinning, like the finish him thing. So like the heads are going dizzy or whatever the character's dizzy state is. You have to add all these. So it's a lot confusing, and I myself don't know how to do it yet. But for those of you who want to know how to add fatalities, I'm assuming you have to, basically, since the MKP characters, once you get rid of all that stuff, don't come. Because even if you do keep it, let me grab Jade real quick. Okay. So you'll see what I mean here, right? So let's look at all Jade states, right? You see specials, finishers, you see fatal, you see this and that. What you don't see, brutalities, combos. What you don't see is states, helper states. So that basically means, and we'll go into Jade's thing here. See if our fatality is written here somewhere. Special moves, shadow kick. Yes, right there, fatal. 33,000, 3,100. See, these are all the fatals, and they don't go into finishers. You saw 3,200, fatal 3, fatal 1. What you don't see is what you saw with Cage. You don't see like bloody bits, bloody necks. So let's see if the moves are written in here, right? See, explode, hit death, play, because these are things the character already has. Player 2 dies. Let me see it. Fatal 2. Speedy stab. Yeah, see, none of these stuff show like blood and bone, explosion, helper, any of that stuff. And on top of the fact that some states are missing, like I added an MKP I added a fatality for MKP, MKX Raiden, where he does the shock and you just fall down and you're smoky. Whereas if you know it normally, he'll shock you, then you blow up, and then blood and bone and all that appears. Raiden didn't have any of those states. He didn't have any of those helpers. So I'm assuming what you'd have to do is probably take all the blood, bone, helper states and whatnot from like an MK2 Raiden and add them. And that's just thinking. I don't know for sure. I'm pretty much satisfied where my characters are, but for those of you who want to add like a, spine rip on Ken or something like that, if you don't have the proper helpers and this and that, what'll happen is he'll take Ken's head off, but Ken's body will fall down with his head still attached to it. So that sounds weird, but it's basically there's no bloody Ken body falling forward because you don't have the helper and the head rip state and all that stuff. So he'll do the fatality, but the body will still be intact. It'll look stupid. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you guys, I'll let this video stay out for a bit, and I'll cover fatalities if you guys wish. Otherwise than that, I really hope I helped you, Joe. I'm pretty sure this video is quite long, but I definitely hope it helped through everything you needed to help you with to continue your project. And going with that further, like I said, guys, I did have the video I made on how I made the super move style fatalities. So that video should help you if you're looking to add like I just did here with the leopard, if you're willing to add a way to do it easy. But with this version, you don't get the full fatality, excuse me, the full bloody way if someone can explode or this or that, because they're missing all the basic states, helpers and all that, like we've already said. So that's going to do it for here. I'll make a part 3 if this video lasts long enough and you guys are asking for where's the fatalities, helpers and whatnot. Otherwise than that, I think this should do. I'll probably finish this Kung Lao at a later time, but I wanted to go ahead and get this up, and I will see you guys in the next video. I really hope this helped. This is definitely, because I know I made a video before on this, but I did not cover every detail the best way I could have. So glad to help, and I will see you guys in the next one. Good creations on those MK versus Street Fighter 3D projects. Kick ass, my fellow Mugeners. See you in the next one.